Welcome back to Fork This City, episode 16. We're kicking things off at Blank Street Coffee. As we've established, I am not a coffee drinker, so Gabby's going to step in to give us the full rundown and let us know what's actually worth ordering. Then we head over to Winson Bakery, the Taiwanese-American spot with a serious following. We're diving into the scallion pancake breakfast sandwich, fan tuan, I hope I'm saying that right, the mochi donuts, and more. We also stopped by Redgate Bakery to give our honest review, what we liked, what we didn't, and whether it's worth adding to your list. And to close it out, we sit down with Elliott, the founder of Snag, to talk about his new venture, what he's building, and how he's looking to shake up the food space. Let's get into it. I'm your co-host, Josh Einbinder, joined alongside the one and only Gabby Martin.
Hello. I feel like we haven't recorded in a while, so I'm very excited.
We haven't recorded in a while. It's been a couple weeks, I think, so this is good to get the gang back together.
Yeah, we are ready to provide some unwanted opinions for all of you today. You guys keep commenting on our socials, positive, negative, all the things. I'm very excited to be here today. We are going to kick it off with Gabby's Coffee Corner. If you guys can think of a better name, let me know. But on Instagram's my food account that has about 61K right now, which was a big milestone when I hit 60K. Woo, go Gabby. Um, People keep asking me where to get coffee. So we don't need to spend too much time talking about it, but I think I can start giving out some recs because that is part of the food scene. I know you don't drink coffee, but I think it's a gap we got to talk about a little bit on our podcast. So we're starting off with something super basic today. I heard about it. I was gonna say through the grapevine, if you know, you know. But we're gonna talk about Blank Street Coffee today. I love Blank Street Coffee. It is a chain. This is nothing special to New York City, but it is one of my favorites. So if you are new to the coffee game, I would start off with Blank Street. Very approachable. I think there's something for everyone there. So, Josh, do you like matcha at all?
No, I think matcha tastes like the ground.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I don't like
Yeah.
matcha either, only from Blank Street. So Blank Street is really smart. They just do coffee and matcha, but what they do is they make really cool seasonal flavors. And I actually do think if you tried some of them, you would like it because they taste like desserts. They do not taste like matcha, so that might be why I like it there. So they went viral because they had the strawberry matcha. So they mixed like strawberry jelly, strawberry syrup into a matcha, and it tastes incredible, like a strawberry shortcake smoothie almost, but it gives you energy because it's matcha. They also made a coffee version of it. So if you first heard about Blank Street last year, it's probably because of the strawberry shortcake matcha. It went viral, really good. Um, and then they're famous for their daydream matcha or coffee, which is essentially it's like honey, cinnamon, vanilla in a coffee. So if you like a sweet coffee, Blank Street is definitely for you. And they just came out with their spring flavors this week, actually. It's a cherry flavor and then a lemon flavor. And you can either get that in coffee version or matcha version. What are your thoughts when you hear those flavors?
I think none of them are for me.
I agree. I actually was like, this is pretty lame. I don't like lemon in my food. I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Lemon
Anything
and lime
lemon,
can, yeah, lemon and lime. They can both kick it to the curb.
like a lemon pasta, people are obsessed with that.
Although I will say, like, I went to Lilia yesterday and
Yeah.
we had the Malfodine, and there's definitely a hint of
Lemon?
lemon in there, and it works. But for
No,
the
I
most
think
part, lemon should be avoided for all meals.
actually, not to tangent, but one time I got a sushi roll and I kind of ignored one of the ingredients and it was lemon. And I was like, I won't taste it. It completely ruined the sushi. So I have the app Storytime where I can go do collabs around the city and it let me do a promotion with Blank Street. So I got to try the cherry flavor. I got the coffee and the cherry matcha. So if you watched the Instagram stories, I already did this review. The cherry matcha tasted like cough medicine. You know, like cherry
Hmm.
liquid medicine you had to drink as a kid?
Of course.
Gross. But the cherry in the cold brew coffee was actually pretty good. So if you are going to try it, I actually this season would just stick with the regular matcha and coffee. They actually permanently kept the strawberry shortcake matcha and coffee version of it on the menu because it was so viral and did well. So I'm actually not recommending the spring flavors, but if you're gonna go, I highly recommend either the Daydream latte or the strawberry shortcake matcha. So that is my coffee recommendation of the week. Please don't bully me on TikTok that was so basic and that everybody knows Blank Street. I'm aware of that, but I just want to say that's my recommendation this week. And I will give more that are more niche to New York City in the future.
Thank you for that. Yes. The TikTok comments are out of hand at
They're
times.
getting out of hand. I think we should talk a little bit about the word grapevine.
Yeah, the word grapevine for the people listening means like you heard it from a friend or you heard it from a coworker. I don't understand. I mean, maybe you're trolling on TikTok, but like,
We're
not
mostly
everyone knows every restaurant in New York. So maybe what you think is a hype place doesn't mean it's a hype place to us or a famous place to us. Keep in mind, Gabby's from Florida. I'm from Connecticut, but I grew up coming to New York a lot. But I still don't know every hyped place. So social media can be a cruel, cruel place.
Yeah, if you go check out our Faicos TikTok, there are about 23 hate comments and you love it. So many views. It's probably one of our top viewed videos, but people are really offended that we heard about it through the grapevine, which just means friends told me about it. So we're gonna have to take a little bit of a chill pill there. Um, I'm gonna keep using that phrase when friends told me about a place.
But you know what we didn't hear through the grapevine? We just know it's hyped right now. It's Winson Bakery.
Well, how did you hear about it then if it wasn't through the grapevine?
Well, I heard about it through the grapevine that is TikTok.
I would argue that's through the grapevine, but sure. Okay,
Okay,
Winsun
sure.
Bakery.
Well, we know it's very hyped. It's a Taiwanese-American spot. Where would you say it? Is it in the East Village? Is it like
Yeah, I would say East
teetering with?
Village.
Yeah, so that's where we went. And Gabby, I'll kind of let you tee it up.
Winsun Bakery has been highly recommended by TikTok and
Hmm.
some of my friends. So we actually, and by we I mean me, scheduled an East Village food tour where we kind of one day bopped around a bunch of places we wanted to try. And Winsun made this list after I did a lot of TikTok research. So it's springtime. The weather's better, which comes along with lots of lines. And that's a whole nother conversation. It's like everyone and their mother wants to go to these trendy restaurants now. But Winston is serving up kind of like, I would say it's kind of breakfasty,
I think
lunch.
it's a hybrid, but to your point about the lines, I will give them credit. The line did move at a fine pace. I didn't feel like I was waiting too long in the line compared to other places, which we'll talk about on future episodes.
Yeah.
I thought it moved at a pace that I was comfortable with.
That's fine. The line did go out the door a little bit, but it was short once you got in, as opposed
Yeah.
to if you've seen the new Mimi's on University, which I've still not had it yet. The line looks like it could last another 30 minutes once you're inside the place. When we got here, once we were inside, it was like 5 minutes. The people behind me kept bumping into me, though. I did keep telling you.
Yes, I did notice that. I did notice
It's like
that.
personal space while we're in lines, people.
So we ordered the scallion pancake, bacon, egg, and cheese, the fan tuan, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and the mochi donut. I will start and tell you that I thought the scallion pancake itself was very good. However, two things. One is the older I get, the less I like bacon. It's not like I won't eat it, it's just like I don't love it. And number two is
Interesting.
I don't really like combining, like I love scallion pancakes on their own, and then like I love like an egg and cheese sandwich on its own. But for me, I don't think it blended that well together. Like it still tasted really good, but it wasn't like my favorite combination of ingredients.
Interesting. Okay, my take is different. I think it's a little too just oily, but that's what a scallion pancake
Mhm.
is. It's just never something I would order. But I actually did like the scallion pancake, egg and cheese. I don't love bacon either, but I had a few bites of it. I actually thought it was really good. And if you are into scallion pancakes, you should go for it. I think it's worth a try. And you can get it. You can get a plain scallion pancake. You don't have to
Yeah.
get the
I,
bacon, egg, and
I
cheese.
I kind of wish we got like a side scallion pancake just to try because I do really like scallion pancakes. I will say though, the best bite I had there was the Fan Tuan,
Try to
Tuan.
explain. Try to explain what it is for people
It's like
listening.
it's like it almost looks like a sushi roll from the outside, kind of like it's rice
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
outside, and then on the inside, I'm not really sure what was in it. There was like some
Pork.
crunch,
It was
pork,
fried pork.
right? But it was really
An
good.
egg.
Yes, there was egg in it, and I will say that felt more like traditional, like Chinese flavors, I felt like, compared to the bacon, egg, and cheese with the scallion pancake. I really liked the rice. That was a good bite. Like, I would get that again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know how to really describe what it was. It does look almost like a sushi roll that's like not cut up. It's just like a log.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it looked gross in my opinion. I actually was very nervous to try it, but I was wrong. Tasted great.
I guess I understand the hype around this place. What I will say is I don't know why there's a line. Like, I think it was good, but is anything they're doing there particularly groundbreaking? Hard to
I
say.
guess. I don't know if you can get scallion pancakes with other things in it.
I don't know. Like, I remember when I went to China, though, for breakfast, for example, I was having like dumplings, lo mein, and then eggs for breakfast. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't
this
know.
is America.
I know. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was good. And the dipping sauce
The dipping sauce was
or
good.
the pork fan tuan was like a really good aioli. And I think a really good aioli makes everything taste better.
Yes.
Like I
Yes, it
was
was a
dipping
very
the
good sauce.
scallion pancake into it too. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I thought it really was flavorful. And then lastly, the mochi donut, which I wasn't really obsessed with, but I actually thought it was pretty good.
We talked about it on our Randy's Donuts episode. I just don't like donuts that much. I thought it was pretty much like a not a glazed donut, just like a very like sugary donut, I
Yeah,
guess.
but it was I don't know how to describe it. Way better than Randy's.
Well,
Let's
yes,
just
and it was
be clear.
softer. It was softer than
It was
Randy's.
very soft and like mushy on the inside, which I actually liked. It was
Yeah,
like a powdered donut on the outside, or maybe it was sugar. And then the inside was extremely mushy, which I like. If you're into that, like if you like your cookies really raw, it's almost like if the donut was like that.
I feel like it didn't go with what other items we were eating, maybe, which is why I think I liked it less. Like, I
Maybe
don't really know if I wanted a donut with a scallion pancake, bacon, egg, and cheese, and then
a
the
pork fan
fan.
tuan.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't say that right.
no, no, you didn't. But I just donut was good. There was nothing wrong with the donut. I just was like, I took one bite and I was like, all right, I'm good. I don't want to keep eating this
Yeah, it
anymore.
wasn't bad. Actually think if you're a donut person, you probably would really like it.
I think if you're a tourist and you're trying to figure out what places to come to and you have time, come swing by and see what the hype is all about.
Mhm.
But in general, like me personally, don't think I need to race back there, especially not to wait in line again.
Me neither, but I liked it. I wasn't mad when I left, and we also sat at a table outside in the sun, which I made me so happy.
I hope I got some color from that because I was directly in the sun. So
Yeah,
I'm
you were.
hoping there was a little bit of a burn that I got, but we'll
I
see.
hope you did too. But that was really fun. So overall, I actually have I skew more positive on Winsun Bakery. I think everyone should give it a try at least once. I think people like I get why people are obsessed with it.
I gave it an 8.9. So like I definitely liked
So
what I ate.
high.
I liked what I ate. I feel like maybe I'm coming across more negative than I
You
should
are,
be.
which I don't like
Like
because you
like
did like it.
I liked it. I thought it was good. But like I think the more and more places we go to, the harder it is for me to differentiate between like really delicious and I'm excited about it and just like good and like eh. Like
Same, I'm getting confused too. I feel like our belly rankings are not making much sense anymore.
yeah, like it's like I feel like when I love a place, you'll know I love a place. Like you'll know off the bat, this place was incredible. I'm very excited about it. But sometimes if I
Yeah,
just
we're
have like
not
a good meal,
excited,
yeah, like I'm not like, wow, I want to go back there 10 times over.
which is funny because our reviews are super high. But I recommend if we're gonna say
Yeah.
fork yeah or fork no, it's actually a fork yeah.
Hmm.
Give it a try. It's worth you trying.
But you want to know a place we'll give a fork no to? Red Gate Bakery. Hey, listen, I anticipate the feedback. I don't want to tear down a small business, but the reality is it was just not. We had two cookies there, and both cookies were pretty lackluster.
So saying lackluster is nicer
I
than
think saying
bad.
lacklusters. Listen,
You
I
said it was a
understand.
fork no.
It was a fork no because I didn't like it, but the more and more I watch, I have a delicate balance, Gab, is trying to tell the truth of what the people want to hear, which is the whole point of this podcast, but also
Right.
not wanting to tear down a small business that I'm sure, pays a high rent and that has lots of people that work there that work very, very hard. We got the fudge nutter cookie, and we got the kitchen sink cookie. And you said it before we started recording, and I couldn't agree more with you. I don't need a lot of things in a cookie, okay? Like I don't need raisins and chocolate. Just give me a chocolate chip cookie, all right? I
Oh,
don't
you're
need
talking about the
10.
kitchen sink.
Yeah, I don't need 10 things in just make the
I agree.
classics.
Well, you want to know what? I will argue devil's advocate. If you are a cookie lover and you love every type of cookie, raisin, oatmeal, double chocolate chip, whatever, maybe you will love a combo of all of those. But if you're like us, I'm like chocolate chip or nothing. Maybe double chocolate chip.
I
You like
just
confetti, but I would
I
add
like confetti, but I
that's it.
prefer chocolate chip more. Like chocolate chip is the baseline. Like if you were to get one cookie at every bakery
Yeah,
to
yeah.
compare, you should always get the chocolate chip cookie, and then your secondary should be a sugar cookie.
So if I don't even like an oatmeal raisin cookie, why would I think I would like that mixed with the chocolate chip, mixed with the walnuts? Like
Yeah.
that's a little bit on us too, but for some reason kitchen sink cookies look exciting because there's like not at Redgate, but other places there's like fun things like potato chips and M&Ms and it looks really good.
Yeah, it just I also we ate it before we ate like our real lunch.
That doesn't
So
matter for
for
me.
me it confused my stomach a little bit. Like I didn't
Oh,
really want a cookie.
yeah.
Not to say the cookies would have been better had I had them after
That's
a
what I'm
lunch.
saying. I don't think it
But
actually
but
changes your
regardless,
review
I
here.
kind of was like I walked in, I was like, I really don't want this right now. But the fudge nutter cookie was the one that I personally like okay, the kitchen sink wasn't my favorite, but like whatever. I
That
could
was a catfish of a cookie.
the fudge nutter looked really good and I was pumped. I was like, fudge, yes. And
It
then you
looked
get into the nut.
super, it looked it looked like Levain. It was super like big, like on the top, and we
Hmm.
thought it was just full of chocolate.
Take one bite and nuts.
It's
Two nuts.
99% walnut,
Yeah.
1% chocolate.
And I don't like nuts. I don't like peanuts. I don't like walnuts. I don't like almonds. Like I don't like any of that. So as soon as I took the bite, what I say? Not for me, and put it down.
Yeah, and you screamed it, so the people on the line then heard this.
I speak the truth, and
That's a me move.
that's what makes me uniquely me. Yeah, it is something you would do actually too. I know Jillian's always like, "Don't say that so loud. Don't say it so loud." But what can I do?
Well, we're saying it here. So, I mean, if you love a nut cookie, go get it. You'll love
Yeah.
it. But it was just all nuts, and that's just not what it's a catfish. When you look at this cookie, you think it's going to be so chocolatey and full of fudge and chocolate chips, and it's definitely not like
I
that.
I I'll give them one thing. If I were to go back, I wouldn't order those. I would have gotten the chocolate chip cookie, and they had like a fudge confetti cookie.
Mhm.
Those are the two I would get. So I'd actually be willing to go back there, and I'll tell you why. Because by my standards, I didn't try the things that I know I would normally like.
The-
So it's
Oh,
unfortunate that this was the first impression I had because I would have ordered differently had I had my say.
well, they lose points in my mind because none of them were served warm, which I know you like,
Like that, they get points for that.
which is whatever. We're not getting into that today. We know your opinion about that. But other than that, like, yeah. So I would say overall, this episode, Blank Street is a positive. Winsun is a fork. Yeah. Redgate Bakery is not endorsed by FTC. So it's a fork no for now. But they
It's
have
an
a line.
FTC violation.
Why is it, what do you mean is a
I'm
violation?
trying to think of like you know how you have like in the government it's like a F FCC like fine or I don't know things like that. I'm trying to think of like
Fining them.
yeah like a catchy
I
phrase for
agree. If anyone can think of a term we can use, like fork no is our term.
fork no is really our term. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I hate not recommending a bakery because I'm like, how bad could it be? I love sugar and chocolate, but there's many other places we recommend, such as Funny Face Bakery, Living, Culture Espresso has a great cookie. Some Days Bakery. Why are you
some
shaking your
days
head?
culture like the froyo place.
No, a Culture Espresso near Bryant Park has like the most insane
Oh,
chocolate chip cookie. I
I
am not
I thought you were
endorsing
talking about
Culture
culture Greek
Froyo.
yogurt and I was or
No.
frozen yogurt and I was gonna say nuh-uh.
I was listing good cookies in the city people can go get instead.
Levain is great. Funny face is good. Yes,
You want to know
yes.
what I stand by, and this is just kind of off topic. If you are going to put something down or say no to an idea, you have to give other suggestions. I've said this to you. Like if
Hmm.
I say we should go to dinner here and you say no, I'm like, okay, then where do you recommend we go? So right now I just gave you a bunch of cookie suggestions if you want to get a cookie other than Redgate Bakery.
I'm glad you gave the people their suggestions.
And we are for the people.
We are for the people. There's another bakery that I like. I think it's Empire Cake. Yeah,
I've
I like
never
that
heard of
bakery.
that.
Empire Cake. Yes, I like that bakery. It's on like
Okay.
17th and 8th, or maybe a little bit lower than that, but it's very good.
Okay. Thank you for your recommendation. I think the people really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay. Well, I just want to say more episodes to come about our East Village adventures, but we gotta space it out a little bit. Let you guys listen to this episode, digest a little bit, share your opinions within reason, be kind, but keep engaging with our content.
And now we have our interview with Elliott, the founder of Snag, to tell us all about how he's planning to snag the hardest reservations in New York. Elliott, welcome to Fork This City.
Thanks for having me.
We are very excited to have you here today. So, to start off, we just want to hear what is your story and what is the Snag app going to be?
Snag is an AI powered reservation assistant, and it's designed to help people get into hard to get reservations, restaurants, and hopefully save a lot of time and stress. So, my background is I moved to New York City at the end of 2021, and I love food. And I wanted to go out to eat at all the restaurants as soon as I got here. I wanted to be going out to dinner at all these places with my friends, and found out pretty quickly that reservations are kind of a part-time job in New
Mhm.
York. If you want to go somewhere good, it's really hard. And so it started out as I was building tools for myself, and then I started kind of being asked by friends to help them. And then eventually kind of realized that this was something that everyone was dealing with as a problem, and eventually led to me building Snag.
So, this is going to be a subscription app where
Yes.
essentially do you choose which places you're trying to get into? How does it work?
Yeah. So Snag integrates with all your like account information, and essentially think of it like an a intelligent automation tool where you tell it what you want to do. So whether you are telling it to make a reservation for you at a restaurant, or you tell it to watch five, six, seven restaurants for availability and book the first one that becomes available, it does what you tell it to do. And so, in addition to that, it also figures out a lot of the logistics behind those actions. Like if you tell Snag to book a reservation at Teresi, you have to know when Teresi releases reservations, how far out in advance they release reservations, and it does all of that for any restaurant automatically.
And then you had mentioned that you had moved to the city at the tail end of 2021 and you kind of realized how hard it was to get a reservation. Was there a specific place that you were trying to get into, or was it just the broader, this is super frustrating that I can't get into the top 30 places that I want to go?
Yeah.
Uh, I would say it was. There were a couple places, but like Fort Charles, everyone knows Fort Charles is like the hardest reservation to get,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and
I was gonna
so
say
I feel
name
like
them.
yeah, Fort Charles is up there. I there's so many. I really wanted to go to Don Angie, the Pinwheel Lasagna. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to go to all these places. It's like I was sitting on Instagram, like watching the like reels about these places, being like, I want to go to these places. I want to eat there. So
That's what makes me so frustrated about Fort Charles is how hard it is to get in there. Like I check every single day and I'm like, oh, not again. But I just went to the sister restaurant in Paris and it was great, but I won't have accomplished anything until I get to the Fort Charles in New York.
yeah,
Me
it's great.
too.
I've only been in once, but it was really good. I liked it.
It was worth it.
Yeah, it's worth the hype.
I kind of hate that. That makes it sad to hear because it's so hard to get into, and you're like, it is worth it. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna go, and Josh has not been either. Does Snag book the reservation for you, or is it more like a Resi alert and then you click and do it quickly? Does that make sense?
It yeah, it automates the entire process start to finish for your Resi account, or whatever account, every works across the board. So
Got
it
it.
will. do everything, including booking.
What do
Got
you
it.
think? What do you think has contributed to, specifically in New York, what do you think has made it so hard to get a reservation? Obviously, there are a lot of people in the city, so that's definitely a contributing factor. But what do you think is the real, reason that people just gravitate towards these restaurants?
I think social media has a huge thing to do with it and kind of spikes demand is,
Hmm.
when a new restaurant comes out and everyone's obsessed with it, the information about the restaurant gets disseminated so quickly and, they might only have 30 tables, right, every night that they're flipping and 10,000 people want to go to those tables and becomes a nightmare. I think also it's a little bit of a confusing, fragmented system making reservations. There's a lot of platforms, and there's not like a consistent way that reservations are booked for these places. And so I think that kind of adds to the frustration and confusion of like every time you want to make a good reservation, you have to figure out the system, and then you're not really guaranteed a spot on top of that.
So, have you been able to get into all of these places prior to you building this app, or now that you have created the app, you are having that luxury of going?
It's a lot easier now. I would say that my Resi account, like my where I'm going for dinner, it's definitely gotten a lot better since I made this app. I
Sure.
yeah, I obviously like I did it the old way too, before this came around. But now that I have this, there's the perks of testing, being the guinea pig of my own product is being able to use it a lot.
Do you anticipate? I mean, obviously, I think there are probably other like AI or bots that snag reservations. I don't know if ResX does that because it's like through another person, but do you think that restaurants would get frustrated by an app like this, or do you think they'll love it because it's a little bit easier to presumably get a reservation?
Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of frustration in the restaurant world, but it's much more targeted at bad actors.
Hmm.
So for a long time, there's a lot of people scalping, and what they were doing is they're setting up like tons of bots to be able to take all the reservations and then try and
Yeah.
resell them to people on things like Appointment Trader. Uh, I think that if the restaurants, as long as real people are showing up and not no showing, I think restaurants are fine with however you got your reservation. And, my goal is not to make anything that helps scalpers. I kind of built this to because I didn't like dealing with them. And so we built some detection software into it to be able to kind of weed out the bad actors.
That makes sense. So you're not trying to get all the reservations for Don Angie in one night and then disperse them. It's more just like for one person who subscribes, they're going to get the time that they want because of the
Exactly.
software. That
Yeah.
makes
It's
sense.
just personal automation, essentially. It's like, makes it easier for you as a person.
Got it. And then I know we talked about this a little before we started filming, but I think it could be useful to know. What have you learned about like when restaurants actually release reservations? Like, obviously, like some of these places are saying they release them every Monday at 9 a.m., but I'm sure when you build the software to really track this, they're not actually doing that.
Yeah. They definitely don't all stick to the same routine or their advertised routine. I think it honestly probably has the most to do with just demand, is that they can fill all their tables without having to go to the public. They have their regulars, and then they have, people that they know will take the table every day. And so they don't actually release them. I've noticed that it's a lot. There's all the notable ones like Port Charles, they don't really obviously don't release all their reservations to the public, and they withhold the majority of them, and some days all of them.
Right. Because
That's
we,
disappointing. That's
I know this
disappointing
makes
to
me
me.
so angry. I have multiple
Yeah.
things I want to say. Josh, you should tell your story about calling Polo Bar because this app
Yeah.
is going to have AI software to call for you.
Oh, wow. That's a game changer. I didn't know that. I called the Polo Bar about a year ago. I think I know it opens at 10 a.m. is like when the earliest you can call. So I called it like 10:15. I was a little bit behind. I waited on hold for 3 hours. I finally get a real person to pick up, and he's like, "What kind of reservation are you looking for?" I'm like, "Two people, anytime that you have. Like I'll take any day, anytime
You're
after 5 p.m."
desperate. Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, sorry, we're sold out." And so I say to the guy very nicely at this point, I'm like, why would you make people wait on the phone for 3 hours and then just tell me that you're sold out? Like, wouldn't it make sense to have an automated ping like, hi, thanks for waiting. We're now sold out of reservations. Please try again tomorrow. And the guy was like, "Well, it's not my fault that you decided to wait on hold for 3 hours." And I'm like, "Right, but like that's ridiculous." And I was really frustrated. And I do want to go to the polo bar, but I will bump it the score. Like even if it's a 10, I'll give it a 9 because of that experience alone right there. I think that's just unacceptable. Like there has to be a way too on their side to be like, "Hey, we're sold out," and send like an automated voice message. I don't know. That was really bad to
Well,
me.
you won't need to do that anymore with this
No,
app.
thanks to Snag. Yeah.
How is the
Yeah.
calling system gonna work?
Yeah. So I guess like the background of that is like there are a lot of restaurants, especially in New York, that still rely on phones, and they'll keep either some or all of their reservations back. Like Minetta Tavern's another example is that if you call
Okay.
Minetta Tavern, they have like a whole set of reservations that they don't put on online
Oh,
that they give to people. It's pretty inconvenient to sit on hold at 10 a.m. if you like have a regular job, right?
Yes.
And just kind of
yeah.
hang out and like hope that you get a reservation. So I was kind of thinking this is like in the nature of like this is an AI powered assistant, right? And people that are eating there, a lot of them have personal assistants that are making these reservations for them. And so it's like, how can I make this more of, a personal assistant for just regular New Yorkers who want to go out and have a good time? And so AI voice is kind of this new technology that's getting really growing really fast. And it just seemed like an interesting use case. And so I started kind of giving it scripts to see if it could figure it out.
Has it worked?
It does. I think the biggest issue that we have right now is figuring out a system that doesn't make the problem worse. Because if 1,000 AI voice agents are calling Polo Bar, it's not like it's like like I don't want to like ruin the days of all these like receptionists either.
No.
And then also the making it like cost effective for people. Because like you said, like you were on hold for like 3 hours. Running AI voice is actually kind of expensive right now. Uh,
Uh,
Anywhere from like 25 cents to 50 cents a minute.
Wow.
And if you think about that, you're not guaranteed a reservation and it sits on there for an hour, right? That's actually like $30 that you just lost for trying to make a single reservation.
mhm.
So we're kind of trying to figure out what the best way to implement this is in a way that like works and is like reasonable cost wise.
Right. I didn't realize they're paying like it was expensive to do it per minute, and I guess the subscriber would have to pay based on how long the AI assistant was on hold.
Yeah, it's honestly it's like it's based off the computing power it takes to take things from voice to text and then return it. Because like if you think about like human language, like how quickly you have to be able to respond, it's about 200 milliseconds is like how long you have to take. And so you have to take the voice, transcribe it, run it through AI, come up with an answer, and then put it back into voice in that period of time. And that's like takes a lot of computing power. And so
Oh my
it's pretty
God.
expensive to run like the best models on that problem.
This is really cool. Have you listened
Yeah.
to your AI bots like trying to talk to Minetta Tavern while you're just like listening in?
So I don't usually test on the restaurants. I'll like we'll
Okay.
have it call if I think it's like ready. It's just most of the testing is me pretending to be Mid-Ender Tavern and like I'll like have it call my phone and be like, is this convincing? And like have it call my friend's phone to be like, is this convincing? Do you think that like this is good enough?
Convincing as in it sounds like a real person.
Has to sound like a real person,
Oh my God.
and it can't say weird things. I mean, like everyone knows that like AI is like this a new technology, and it is
Right.
getting so much. It's getting better by leaps and bounds like every day.
Hmm.
And but there's still like little quirks every once in a while,
Definitely.
and yeah, I don't want to. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So I don't want it to go out there and not be fully
It
functional.
is gonna, it's funny because AI is often like very agreeable in a sense. I'm going based off ChatGPT and I can see them being like,
Yeah.
we have no reservations. And they're like, you're right, I shouldn't go. Like, there aren't reservations and just like quirky things that chat
Yeah.
says.
When I started with it, it did a couple like funny things. Like it would switch roles by accident. It would like think it's the receptionist and like be like like it took a while to get it really dialed in.
Wait, that's
What
so funny.
what is your background? Because I have to imagine this is no small task between figuring out the restaurants, the tech, and then also users, marketing, like the whole shebang. So what is the background, and then how are you scaling this?
Yeah, so I work in tech, as you might. I've
Yes.
been a software engineer
That
and
makes
I've
sense.
worked in startups and kind of in early startups. So I have a lot of experience. Most of those startups I've worked at are some kind of automation software where they're trying to take some inefficient process and, take out the middleman essentially and like make it seamless. And so a lot of that's been in finance, in commercial real estate, and I kind of took that know-how and applied it to this particular problem. And that's kind of how I got here. But yeah, it's been quite a journey because I don't normally do marketing and I don't normally do a lot of these other things. So I have to wear a lot more hats now.
Yeah.
Are you doing this by yourself?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
impressed.
building it like full time, full send for the past 4 months as my full time job.
Oh, you're doing it full time. Elliott did send me a list of reservations that he got that I was allowed to take if I was available, which was amazing. And I will say it's impressive. All of those reservations you were able to get. It was like E. Cavallini, Teresi, Coat. That's the one I did. Um, Lilia. They were all there. So I will say your app is going to be very successful based on what I saw.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. I'm excited to get it out there.
When do you think you are going to be launching this app? We probably should have prefaced this podcast with this app is not available yet.
Yes. So I think I'm going to roll it out in phases. So like with phase one is hopefully going to be approved to launch at the end of this week.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and so, yeah, I should be able to launch and take on a few users. I'm then going to kind of scale it up from there and roll out more and more features because it's not just the original feature set. There's a lot more that I kind of want to build into it.
Like what? If you're okay with sharing.
Yeah, I my like long-term vision for the app is more than just like booking reservations. Um, so I really want it to be like a immersive like AI tool for just like going out in New York or any other city. So like think like you're like I need plans for this weekend. It figures out what restaurants you might want to go to. It might book your museum tickets or tickets for a show, and then it can figure out distances between events so that go from your show to dinner to drinks all in kind of the same neighborhood. And you can use it to really like actually plan. The goal is that this is like makes people's life a lot easier and especially if they like enjoy going out in the city, like this kind of becomes an all-in-one tool for them.
That's awesome.
That's really
Josh, you want to
cool.
know what
Yeah.
this reminds me of? When we walked New York City top to bottom and we tried using chat to make our
Yeah.
itinerary to
We
like
could have used your app. Yeah.
add cool stops along the way, and chat just was so wrong.
Yeah. I find it like it sometimes gives you good suggestions, but the reality is that like it's like, yeah, and then stop in at Fort Charles, right? It's like you can't actually do that. And so like having the ability to not only give you recommendations, but also the execution of being able to fulfill the recommendations that it's giving you, I think it's gonna be like making a lot more of a useful tool than just like plugging something into ChatGPT.
Right. It didn't make the plans for us. And it was wrong geographically. Like it was like go to this place, then this place. So we were like, okay, this is next, but we already passed it. So it just didn't work out.
Oh wow.
So that just reminded me of that. What is probably, in your opinion, the most impressive reservation that your app has secured thus far?
Ooh. I would say Teresi is probably like one of the harder ones that it gets regularly. Um, just because I feel like that's like at the top of like everyone's list and it's a pretty hard one to snag. So it gets it though. So that's good.
Have you been?
Yes, I went 2 weeks ago. It was great.
I was gonna say, was it worth the hype?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Dang
And
it. Why is everything worth the hype?
Well, how I want to ask, have you been to E. Cavallini and how was that?
I haven't been to Cavallini yet, but I want to. I in testing, I want to be able to go all these places. Unfortunately, I don't have the budget yet. In the app is not paying for itself at this point. So
Yeah.
eventually, I'll be able to like
Oh,
personally test for all these restaurants, but I need to wait until I roll it out first.
I see. I didn't really think of it that way.
I think this is like a
Wow.
really cool concept because there's ResX, but that's like other people posting their reservations. My dearly beloved Belly, it's the same thing. People just post reservations. So this is like something that's more unique to me, having that personal assistant snag the reservation and not have to worry about the work myself because I'm on Resi, I'm on Open Table all the time and trying to make Gabby and Jillian and all our friends happy with a reservation, but it's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
don't blame.
coordination part of it's really hard. And
Mm.
like figuring like it's like all these interfaces and now like DoorDash too, right? DoorDash reservations is taking over open tables, moving reservations over from Resi. They just moved Don Angie over to open table now.
Right.
And like it's a very confusing, multifaceted system.
Yeah, so your app's having to figure out all of these different reservation systems. It's not just like
Yeah.
one platform. Yeah, I imagine that's extremely difficult. Has there been anyone at these places that was not worth the hype in your opinion?
Ooh, I don't
I'll
want to be
share my
negative.
answer after.
Doesn't mean they were bad.
I
Doesn't mean
have
it
an
was
answer
bad.
that I have an answer. I can go first. I don't think Isodi is worth the hype. I didn't really like it when I went.
Oh, I think the lasagna is
But
pretty
this
good.
is Elliot, this is coming from the girl who loves La Pecora Bianca. So take it with a grain of
Yeah, if you've
salt,
listened to
okay?
our podcast before, I'm not the most like I don't share opinions with a lot of people. I have my own. Hence the
I
I
podcast.
think I think Lily is amazing. She didn't like Lilia. I
No, it
thought it
was
was fun. I
fine.
think it's
It was
fantastic.
fine.
If I had to say one that I think was not my absolute favorite was probably Carbone.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just I think it was really good. It just was also like really expensive for a
I've
lot
never
of
My
been.
spicy rigatoni.
we've both never been, but my problem with Carbone, I think at this point, and it's not like a bad thing to say, I just feel like it's too commercialized now. Like all these people are like, oh, we have to go to Carbone, but they have so many locations now. I'm very curious about like quality control, like how it's different from the one in Miami or Vegas. I don't know. Like I definitely want to go,
I
but
want to try it.
I'm not like dying to try it.
Yeah, I'd say on the other side of that coin, Major Food Group like hits it out of the park with like almost every restaurant they open.
I
I've
agree.
never had a bad meal at any one of their restaurants. It's just whether they're like up to the hype that they like kind of have the mystique behind it.
Yeah,
I
totally.
agree. Have you been to Contessa in Boston? And they opened in Miami?
I have not. I've been meaning to, but actually, one of the interesting
Good.
things about Snags is it works everywhere. And so,
Oh,
Contessa is what you could book a reservation on Contessa tomorrow.
that's awesome. Actually, you want to know what I will say? Contessa's not impossible because I used to live in Boston for like 5 years for grad school and I went a few times, but it is one of my favorite places there and it's major food group. So I will give them their props. Carbone, I have not been able to get a reservation for. It comes up on like Resi Notify, but for like 11 p.m.
Yeah. I think they're kind of interesting as well because they also have like an internal, they're so big, major food group, that they also have like an internal like listserv of reservations for all their places. So they withhold a lot as well that they don't need to
Man,
have the public fill.
have you gotten a corner store res yet or not yet?
I have not gotten a corner store res yet. It's on the list. We cover DoorDash. Corner store is one of the ones that entire food group that doesn't regularly release reservations at the same time every day. And so I have seen reservations pop up, and they just were within a time range that I wanted to go. So I
Yeah.
had a few opportunities. It was like if I wanted to drop things and go at like 5 o'clock, but they don't like it's. I haven't seen like a 7 p.m. reservation available to the
We
public on them yet.
we went. Josh, what time did we go?
It
It's not
was
a great
I
time.
think 8:45 or 9.
No, I
Yeah,
think
it
it was
was.
9. It was 9. Yeah. I thought maybe 10, but that was
No,
for
that's too late.
we went somewhere at 10 and we didn't love it. Why can't I think of it? It was one of the pasta places. Lartuzzi. We went at
Oh
10.
yeah, that place was like whatever.
Not worth going at 10, but corner store we went at like 9, which wasn't great, but we knew we had this opportunity and had to take it because nothing ever pops up for corner store. And it was funny because when we were leaving, our waiter was like, "Hope to see you soon." And we were like,
You
"Same, but we
won't.
don't think we're going to be able
Yeah.
to get in." And he was like, "Well, reservations drop every day." And we were like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's now that I have the actual knowledge of how this works, they don't drop everywhere all the time, but
No.
they will drop eventually. So if you're willing to, there's kind of like two ways that, Snag works. One is that reservations that have not been released yet in the future. So like Snag does not, we don't have list reservations, we don't sell reservations, we don't hold reservations ourselves. We're essentially like only an automation tool. So the two ways you would use it, one is you would schedule something out. So you'd say, corner store books 14 days in advance, I believe.
Mhm.
And you would say, all right, so I want to go here 2 Fridays from now. And the Snag figures out that that is going to be like 16 days in the future, right? So 2 days from when it will,
14.
2 days in the future, it will actually go in and book it for you. Uh, but it's kind of the other way is that there's monitoring, and you can be able to just say these reservations have all been released and all been taken. If something comes up within this time range, book it for me. And so then you can that's how you get the corner store reservation.
Got it. Got it. This is super cool. I'm very
Yeah.
excited for this app to come out. Like, I just find getting these reservations is so impossible, and I personally don't really like to play the game. Luckily, I have Josh who plays this game for me. But
Well, soon I'll have Snacks to play the game for me, so I don't have to worry
right,
about
like it's making this so accessible, which is so exciting.
Yeah, I think every friend group has that like one person who's like in charge of it, and that was me for a while. And then now I'm hoping to kind of offload that responsibility for everyone in the friend group that has to deal with reservations all the time, like onto Snag.
it. Thank you so much for joining Fork This City. If you want, plug your Instagram if you have a TikTok, just so the people can all follow you.
Yeah, at snag_reservations is our Instagram and TikTok.
Lovely. Elliot, thanks for joining the show. Special shout out to Elliot for joining Fork This City. Super cool to hear about Snag and all the fun things in the works. You can follow us on Instagram at Fork This City Pod, on TikTok at Fork This City. Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. You can listen to us anywhere you get your podcast. I am Josh Ironbiter, joined alongside my co-host, Gabby Martin, aka Instagrubs. Anything else, Gabby?
Peace out, motherforkers.